Hello there and welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good evening or good morning from wherever in the world you're watching this. You're with me, Martin Cross on Cross's Corner, and I have the amazing Magdalena Lobnig with me, the Austrian single sculler. I say amazing, Magdalena, because one of the things I want to talk about is your European Championships win in 2016 on that water, because anybody that could scull on that water is totally amazing. And you just crushed it.
Yeah, thank you. Hi to everybody first, and yeah, it's quite funny because everybody's connecting me to that race. I just did what I always try to put the blade in and put the blade out as fast as I can.
Well, we're going to get into that as we go on, but I have to say, just to start off with, as most of you know, Cross's Corner is supported by Ludum, which is the training management and performance analysis tool for sports coaches and training groups. And good news is you can start a 30-day free trial just logging on at ludum.com. So thank you to Ludum. But Magdalena, tell us about your day. What have you been doing today?
I think it was just the normal Rose Monday. I did the long still stage row in the morning, and I did lift some weights in the afternoon. So I just returned from training and I got some food in, and then I'm here with you.
And how was the training going this morning then? How was the boat feeling?
It was quite good actually, because I was alone on the water, which doesn't happen that often. So today I was just feeling myself, and yeah, it was quite nice. And I had a good rhythm, even though I'm quite tired at the moment. So I had good boat speed, and yeah, the boat was running quite good. I'm happy.
We were talking just before we went on air, and you said that normally you don't have a day off.
No.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, but yeah, if we got Sundays off or so, you can't do things on Sundays, you know, when you have to do some, I don't know, have to go to somewhere and arrange things, then you can't do that on Sunday. So I appreciate it if we have half days off, so you can arrange things in the city, so it's better for me. I like it more, yeah. I like training.
Yeah. So you live quite close to Vienna, do you?
No, I live in the south of Austria.
Oh, you live in the south? Yeah.
I live in Bergamo. It's already quite known in the rowing scene. It's where the Danes do their camps. The German aid is always here. So also the Canadians were here 2 years ago for the home world champs. So yeah, it's quite famous, I think.
What's the lake like? What's the lake like that you row on?
It's an artificial lake, so it's a dammed river. It's called the Verknappter Stausee, so it's the river Drau, we say. Yeah, so it's a little current, but we have parts where you don't have current, so it's quite nice. You can go in one direction, you can go 15 km, and in the other one you can go 7 km. So it's good for bigger nations to train. You don't pass each other too many or too often.
Yeah. And you've done some weights this afternoon. We see a lot of pictures of you on Instagram and Facebook of you in the weights room.
Yeah. I think it's business what we have to do. Yeah. Now I like weights. When I was a junior, I didn't like it, but now I like it. Well, I have to like it. I have to do it. So it's better.
Yeah.
Than you hate it.
How many weight sessions do you do a week, Magda?
At the moment, I do weights twice a week. So not too often, but I had periods where I had to do it 3 to 4 times. That's hard.
Yeah.
The sun shining outside, and you have to go in the weights room. That's pretty tough.
Yeah. So tell us now. We're just kind of 2 weeks away from the European Championships, which will be your first race since last October, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you're thinking and feeling about the upcoming European Championships.
I think it's quite early. I mean, we just had Europeans and now they have again happening. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward that we have races. I mean, in times like this, we appreciate every race which we get. So I'm really looking forward, and yeah, get some racing done. We are training all the time, and hardly racing. So yeah, will be fun, I hope.
Yeah. Last year, you got a silver medal behind Puspure in the European Championships, which kind of I guess that's a great result for you.
Yeah, it was a great result, but it was. I know it was hard to get high performance results that late in the year. It was, but I think you saw at many nations that they had troubles to match the date of the Europeans. So yeah, I was in good shape, but not in perfect shape. So I'm happy with silver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better shape before Europeans. That's what I want to say. But yeah, it was quite late, and it was hard to find the speed there.
Yeah, I thought that was a brilliant result from you. But one thing I wanted to ask you was about the World Championships in 2019 in Austria, because that was on your home water of Linz-Ottenheim, and you would have wanted to have been in the final. I know. In the end, you were in the B final.
Yeah.
What was that regatta like for you? How was the pressure of being, the home favourite, and how did you feel you handled it?
Well, 2019 was a very difficult year for me. I had a change of my coach because he quit quite surprisingly just before the season did start. So
Really?
Yeah, it was my long-term coach, and suddenly he came and said, "Oh, I'm gone now." So it was a huge surprise for Austrian rowing. I mean, they didn't have planned to get another person here, so it was quite hard to manage everything. I mean, when you're a few weeks before the first race and you have no coach, that's quite tough. So yeah, we had to see how things develop, and then home world chance. But the season was quite okay. I would say I was fourth at the Europeans, quite close to a medal. And then at the World Cup in Boston, I was really close second behind Emma, so it was a perfect race. And I saw that I can do it also on my own, so it was really nice push for myself. But then before World Champs, I got ill. I was in the shape of my life, but 2 weeks before I had a sinusitis, so I had to take antibiotics twice because the first antibiotics didn't work. So I had to take another one, and it put me completely down in the corner. And yeah, I started to train before World Champs 1 week before, so I'm quite happy that I qualified for the Olympics. Yeah, but it was a huge pressure because everybody was expecting a medal from me because I medaled the 2 World Champs before in 17 and 18, and yeah, everybody was watching Magdalena. Yeah, it was really a hard year, but after that I really arranged my environment, and I'm happy now.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that B final, because there was a great race. I know it was between you and Udby Eriksson for that vital 9th place, which was the cutoff for the Olympic qualification. Just tell us about that race and the pressure that you must have felt.
It's horrible. I did it twice now in the same way. In 2015 in Equilet, I had HIV, it was just the same. I was ill before the World Champs, and I had to struggle in the B final for the Olympic spot, so it was horrible. But I think this time my mind was more clear that I know I can do it. But when you had 1,500 at the last 500 and you're 5th at the moment, and just 3 boats go through, then the pressure is on.
Yeah.
The support was wonderful. I mean, there were people already trying at 500 meters for me, so they pushed me through the whole way, and yeah, it was amazing. We had so many fans there, and my family was there, and yeah, I heard them screaming the whole way, and they got me through the finish line, I would say.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So things have changed in Austria a little bit because, or a lot, I guess, with new chief coach Robert Sens. How much has Robert Sens' arrival impacted you and what you're doing there?
Well, I have a longer history with Robert because after 2019, I right after the final, when I said, okay, I have the Olympic ticket now, I was really unhappy because I knew that I had the ticket, but I don't have the right environment where I know I can go for a medal in Tokyo. So I had to rearrange everything, and I talked to Austrian rowing, to the federation, and I talked to many people, and I just asked Robert if I can join his group, and without hesitating, he said, yes, of course. So I joined his group, his ladies, in October. And we trained the whole winter season together. We ran many camps, we had a lot of fun. And then surprisingly, we got head coach in Australia in spring. So since then, I have two coaches at the moment. So it's Robert as head coach, and my longtime coach, Kurt, also came back. Yeah. So after 2019, when he quit in the fall, I got him back in the boat. So he's helping out at home. And Robert is helping when he's not having time because he's working as a policeman now besides. And yeah, so I think the mixture is quite good at the moment.
And what's been the impact on your boat speed and on the way that you're sculling of that sort of changing?
Robert taught me another way to feel the boat. I think each coach has other priorities on the stroke. So he focuses more on the back end, and he helped me a lot there. Where Kurt is more concentrating on the catch. So I had the perfect mixture of one coach who has his perfect view of the catch and the other one of the finish. So I'm really happy that I have those two guys behind me, and they help me a lot.
And how I know you've been away in Italy already because the European Championships are in Italy, but you've been training in Italy, haven't you, this year already?
Yeah, we have been to Sabaudia for 6 weeks. Yeah,
6 weeks.
The longest camp I ever did, but it wasn't originally planned that long. But we would have gone back home after 2.5 weeks, but we got a harder lockdown in Austria, so Robert gave us the opportunity to stay or to go home, with the risk that we can't really return to Italy. So most of the national team stayed in Sabaudia and got through the 6 weeks. Yeah, it was a new challenge for me mentally. I was a bit afraid of it, but we had a lot of fun off the water, so it was nice to have.
Yeah, I remember once we went when I was training in Sabaudia, we drove down to Napoli just for the day or the afternoon. Did you ever get down that? Did you have any days out like that?
When we said we want to stay, we said, we're going to do this and that. We go to Rome and to Napoli, and we go maybe to Amalfi. But nothing happened. We just trained. We had some coffee in the city, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So now Magdalena, one thing that is amazing about you is how long you have been in the sport, because when was your first year? Was it 2006, 2005? Yeah,
2006 were my first junior champs. Yeah, as junior B, I was my first international regatta.
And you've rowed every single year at the championships, I think, since then.
Yes.
That's a sensational record. Tell us about how you got into the sport to start off with.
I got into the sport by my school. It's offered as a free exercise, we say in Austria. You can do it, you don't have to do it. And a friend of mine and my sister took us to the club and said, hey, try rowing, it's so fun. And we tried it, and I fell in love immediately, with the sport. It's amazing. I had to encourage my sister to go to the club, but she's also having others growing.
Yeah. And I gather that you're a very good athlete in more than just one sport. So it's quite unusual that you would just love rowing if you're very good at other sports.
Yeah, before rowing, I did track and field, I did tennis, I did riding horses, everything. So, but I love rowing. It's something that nobody is doing, or that not. How can I say it? it's just a rare sport, you know. That's what I want to say. Not everybody is rowing, so that's really special, and you can't feel the rhythm, this rhythm fitting in another sport, so it makes it really special. And also that it's a team sport and an individual sport.
Yeah. How long was it after you started that you had dreams or thoughts that you would be an international oarswoman, or maybe you might think of even one day going to the Olympics?
When we had our first race, we won it. It was a school cup race, and I really loved it. Yeah, I loved the feeling. I loved the victory. I said I want to go to the club, and then the story began, I think. So then we were going to our first junior world champs, where we also met at the first junior world champs. So it was really, really nice, and we were a nice group of girls. We were all on fire, and yeah, we just wanted more.
Yeah. So you spent the first part of your career in crew boats, in women's quadruple sculls and women's doubles.
Yes, the whole junior and under 23 years I spent in team boats. It was quite fun, but then I wanted to try it alone. Yeah, once. And then since then I'm missing it.
What is it that made you want to try it yourself? Because sometime were you obviously the fastest athlete, the fastest sculler in that group, and did you know from then that you would be able to go?
I wasn't the fastest sculler all the time, but at the end I was, and I wanted to have the opportunity to try it. But at first Australia didn't let me because the double was always working and bringing good results. And then I said, I want to be independent, and yeah, that's why they gave me the chance. I brought results. At my first international race, I got silver behind Mirka at the Europeans. So
in Seville.
In Seville, yeah, and then everything was clear. They just let me do it as singer. And since then, I'm in a singer, yeah. But I really love it.
Was that a race? I'm trying to remember that race. Did you go out quite fast?
Yeah. Mirka caught me at 1,000, and then we stayed together to 1,500. She couldn't really lose herself. And at the end, at the start, she was one length before me in the finish area. But yeah, it was an amazing race for me.
I've always thought of you as a very brave sculler, and I think, you know, going out fast is quite a brave thing to do.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to let it go. You can't go out fast each race, so it just happens, you know. Sometimes you can't control it, it just happens.
Yeah. Oh, really? So that wasn't part of your tactics for that race?
Not really. I just wanted to give a fight to Mirka, so that's what I tried, and it worked out quite well.
Yeah.
I let her go from the start. She's gone. I have to stick to her and try to push her each stroke. And yeah.
So it was. We talked already about. You made your first final in the World Championships in Amsterdam, I think.
Yes.
Which you finished fifth.
You mean at the senior race?
Yeah.
My first World Championship final was in Chungju, also in 2013.
Oh, in Chungju in 2013.
So in that same year, I got second behind Mirka.
And you came fourth in.
Yes.
So straight away you're getting success in World Championships, and you made the final again the next year. And then we talked about Egg Ballet, where you were in the B final but still managed to qualify for the Olympics. And then
Egg Ballet was a drama because it was the first time I wasn't in the A final, which could have been so important. But then in a crucial B final where you just row for your life. It's horrible. And then the same happened in 2019. I don't want to make this experience again. I promise. It happens.
Now tell me.
You learn the final piece where you had to go for Olympic tickets.
Yeah. Tell me about your experience in the Olympic year, Magda, because it was an interesting year for you. And I think I read somewhere that the result in the Olympics had quite a big impact on you and your decision as to whether to carry on or stop in the sport.
Yeah, exactly. The Olympics were quite good till the semi-final. I had the hardest semi-final I could have dreamed of. I put myself in a nice position where I knew I could fight for a medal maybe. So, but in the final race, I just couldn't win anything. It was horrible. I was so disappointed. From pure happiness, right after the semi-final, where I was so happy that I was in the final, I was so destroyed afterwards. So yeah, it was really hard for me to think about the Olympic race. And yeah, then I thought, okay, I'm not done with rowing. I had to prove myself I can show better Olympic games. So that's why I carried on, and I put myself mentally in another position. Then it worked out quite well because 2017 was quite a successful year then after that.
Yeah. So do you think that you, on the form you showed in the semi-final, do you think you could have won a medal in that Olympics in 2016?
Well, I was leading the semi-final till the last 250 meters, I think. So Jerry just passed me and gave me in the sprint. So it was really a good race for myself. And I think with the right mental thing, you can push yourself to a medal maybe, but I wasn't ready yet. I lost too many trainings in the winters before. I was ill so many times, so I think I just had the base to show this kind of race 3 times in a row. Yeah. You can show such a race like the semi-final one time when you don't have the base, so yeah, making it twice. I think in Rio we had the semi-final on Saturday, and then the next day we had the final race because we had an extra day which we had to use because of the conditions. So the break wasn't long enough maybe to recover for me.
Yeah. And yet that was the same year you won the European title, probably, I think, for the first time maybe in Brandenburg.
Yes.
And the conditions in Brandenburg were unbelievable to row in. I think for singles it must have been the worst because there was this very, very strong crosswind, and the water was just like this. And how did you manage to actually go so fast in those conditions compared to, I think, all your competitors, Natkova, Karsten, I can think of, I can't remember the other competitors in that race, but it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I just try to do what I try all the time. Row fast, try to keep the length and put the blade in and put the blade out. So it's quite easy. But during the race, I thought, oh, that must look quite weird because I'm so much in front. And I was wondering what the other guys are doing because I just tried to survive in this race. And yeah, it worked out quite well, but it was really horrible. When I sometimes see a race, you see behind us in the race, you see the 8s warming up and they're just overtaking us in the race. We are so slow that when they go for endurance, they're just faster than us. That's so funny to see in the race. It's horrible, but I don't want to experience this one again.
No, it's not that you'd had practice of very rough conditions on the lake in Austria.
No, everybody's asking me what I did, but where I row, in Postponement, where my home base is, the water is almost flat all the time. It's like mirror rowing. You see no waves mostly. So yeah, I don't know why I can't do it. It's not, but I can promise you, I know how to do it, but I don't like to do it. So it's not making fun for me to run in such conditions, even though I can handle it.
Yeah.
But one coach once said to me that it might be the fact that I'm rowing normally on flat water. You have to balance the boat quite more than on rough water. So
Yeah.
it's really giving me the stability to handle it in rough conditions. Because flat water to balance a boat is harder than in headwind or so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really interesting. The year after Rio, you've decided you will carry on for another 4 years, and you make your first medal in a World Championship final in Sarasota in 2017. So how was that year for you?
The year was amazing. When I after Rio, I said, okay, when I'm standing on the start line, I want to medal, and it worked out really well in 2017. I medaled at each race where I was starting. So I won the overall World Cup in 2017, and I won bronze in Sarasota, which was really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
even though it was a tricky race, but I caught a crab in the final. I don't know if you remember, but I lost my oar at 700 meters or so. I was in the outer lane, on a not so good lane, and I lost my oar, but I caught it, and I saved the medal.
Yeah. You went out quite fast in that race, I seem to recall.
I was in a good flow, but then I think I hit the wave or so, and I lost my oar, and the oar was standing like that. You have to see the race. It's fun to watch because they make a review after that, and you see which conditions I had to handle there.
Yeah. Do you think you're better in a headwind or a tailwind as a sculler?
I think a headwind is fitting more my technique and my power stroke. So
yeah,
if I could choose, I would take a headwind, but I know also how to row fast conditions because in Poznan in 2017 I got the World Cup best time there. So I know how to row in tailwind too.
Yeah. That was that race. That was your first World Cup win, wasn't it? That you beat Victoria Thornley, I think.
Yeah, and W1x.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool getting the World Cup best time. It's still standing, I thought.
Yeah, because that time the singles record is one of the oldest records in world rowing, isn't it? From Romania Nikova in
2002.
Yeah. What is it?
It's 707.
707. Yeah. How close have you been to that?
World Cup best time is now at 713.
Yeah. I wonder when
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder when that record's going to be broken.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah,
I think, the conditions in Sevilla, you have a bridge where it's like when we go through a tunnel, it's like, and it's a lot of seconds there. So you need the right regatta course to break the record, I think. It's really hard.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too wavy. There should be maybe a bridge or something like that, and then you can maybe go and get it. Yeah.
How do you get on with your competitors? Because the men's single sculls, they all came together. They rowed an 8. They all seemed friends outside of rowing. How was it in the women's single sculls? How well do you get on with your competitors?
I think it's the same. We also rowed at grade 8s, and I also have chats with them during the off season regularly. So with some you are friends, with some you are not friends. I think that's just normal.
Yeah. Who do you know well out of your competitors?
I think I don't think I have regular contact to Jen Stone, to Lisa Shena, which are now in the doubles, but I also have regular chat to Sanita.
Yeah. And and Sanita has been in fantastic form in the World Championships in 2018 and 2019. She's really on fire. What do you think your chances are of getting close to her this year?
I think my chances this year are better than last year.
Yeah.
Try to close up. Yeah, we will see in 2 weeks. We know how far I got now close to her. Yeah. But I think my rowing style is better, more fluid, and I'm in a better shape now. I had a good winter, except of Corona, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to race and show
that'll make a big difference, won't it, for you that you've had that winter set with a good coaching team behind you?
Yes, yes. Also, when I built up the team in 2019 in the fall, we changed the program, and my body had to get used to it. So I was really happy when Olympics were postponed. Yeah, because
really?
Yeah, because my body had more time to get used to the program, and we saw that the program is good but not perfect for me. So we rearranged it this fall after the Europeans, and now I'm in a better shape, I would say, and I'm curious how far I can go this year.
And what was the difference? What did you have to adapt to in the new program? What had changed?
We did fewer hard programs, fewer weight sessions, more endurance, more longer bike rides. Robert loves to bike rides. I love to ride long bike rides.
Yeah.
Do that, and yeah, he's more on the polarized training thinking. But Kurt has another idea, and yeah, so I have a mix of it, I think, at the moment. But yeah, I think the way we do the program now is better for me. So I feel the power is coming back, and yeah, that's good.
So when the Olympics were postponed for the first time, I hope for the only time, when the Olympics were postponed back in 2020, you were thinking, "Oh, good."
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. At first, I was thinking about that already many weeks ago, and I was preparing my mind that it will happen because everybody said it will happen. So it wasn't a surprise for me when they said, "Okay, it's postponed now." So I got myself prepared for this decision, and at first I thought, okay, we have another year, but then I thought, oh my God, we have an empty year, which was quite hard to think of. But then Robert, our head coach, he just let us work on as many camps as we could go. So the national team stayed together all the time. We were in many camps, and we worked hard and had a lot of fun. And so he made us get busy all the time.
Yeah. And how confident are you the Olympics will go ahead this year?
At the moment, I say it will happen without spectators. So I hope it will go on like this. I don't know. I'm just reading the news, and I can just trust the news.
Yeah.
Nobody else tells me different things, but I think we have to get through this. It's for everybody. It's the same.
I was talking to somebody in the IOC recently, and they were very confident that the Olympics would happen, that it would be very different, but it will happen, I have to say. We've had some questions from people listening in. Two interesting ones from DB Cooper. I'll put them on the screen. Rowing at Henley Royal Regatta.
Yeah, I would love to race there. Maybe this year, because it's after Olympics, it's fitting better. Yeah. I would love to go there. But I think Henley, my coach told me that Henley is just nice when there are a lot of spectators. This year there won't be everybody, I think. But I would love to go there. I have never been there. It's on my to-do list.
He's got the same guy, DB Cooper. interested to get your views. A big discussion in America with trans athletes and women's sport. How would you feel about facing some trans athletes on the starting line? Do you understand that question? Transgender athletes, like Caster Semenya, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. We didn't have the case in rowing, so I don't know. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that as an issue?
You have to. I don't know.
It's very difficult, isn't it?
It's a difficult question. I mean, rowing is so power based. It's such a tough sport. It's a difficult question. I can't answer it, I think.
Yeah. I think, I think, when I used to row, the women only raced 1,000 meters, and then it was even more power based, and you had the athletes from, the GDR and the Soviet Union who were extremely big women, and probably using steroids and such like. And they always used to dominate out in front, I think, and it was very difficult to compete with that. So yeah, so we were looking at your bronze medal in 2017, and you got the same medal in the next year in Plovdiv in 2018, bronze medal again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was quite happy that I could defend my bronze medal there. I was having a hard time right before the World Champs mentally, and the semi-final was waking me up for the final race, because in the semi-final I had really troubles getting into the final. But then I was alive again mentally, and then I just did what I did or could do best and race fast in the final race. Yeah, I was really, really happy. It was a really nice feeling defending that bronze medal from Sarasota.
Yeah, that was such a fast race as well. If fast conditions on that course in Plovdiv.
Yeah, Plovdiv, we also got the rescheduled lanes. We also got the outer lane. They had favorite lanes, and I was on the outer lane because I was just third in the semi-final. So once again, I had to go on the outer lane. But yeah, I did the best in this lane, what I could do. So
yeah. Let's talk about your land training a bit and training on the ergometer. What kind of work do you do on the ergometer, Magda?
It depends. I mean, when it's frozen outside, we spend each day on the ergometer. So we do just steady state, or we do programs. But at the moment, we try to at least do once a week a session in the erg, so a hard program, like 3 times 10 minutes with different stroke rates.
Yeah.
Giving you a great power for the boat, especially for the single, which is really hard boat to row. And you can also control like the acid and stuff like that, because it's closer to you than in a boat, and you can adopt the training when you see the data. If you have to go faster and slower, it's really nice to make some training control.
What is your 2K personal best?
It's 640.
640?
Yes.
Whoa, that's hot.
I'm not really happy with it, but I want to go sub 640. That's my plan. And I wanted to try it this winter, but then Corona hit me quite hard, and I couldn't show that I can go under 640. But hopefully, I will in the future.
Yeah, that's amazing. What did you think of the world record just being broken by Brooke Mooney the other day?
Crazy. It's incredible. I don't know how any woman can pull so hard. It's really, really impressive.
Yeah, that's quite a score. Do you know the top ergos of the women that you're racing in the single sculls?
I think Emma has quite a good time. I think she also got a new best sub 6:30 or so. I think there's a 2 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sanita is. I don't know if I can tell the numbers. I don't know. Maybe it's a secret.
Maybe if she's told you, then maybe you shouldn't say what the score is, because she might not like everybody else knowing.
I can just tell the numbers which I know from indoor championships. They're official anyway, so
yeah.
I know that many girls are around my 6:40, but the heavier girls like Fee or so, they're 6:36, 6:35. Yeah, but they are heavier, so I don't know. It's really, and Sanita's 6:36. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So really quite competitive.
Yeah, you have to put it hard.
Yeah. Do you prefer the 2K test, or do you do a 5K test as well?
No, we do a 6K.
A 6K. Which one do you prefer?
2K. I hate it. It just suffer for 21 minutes or so. It's horrible. You go through it 3 times on a 6K, and then at 2K you just go through it once, so it's better 2K.
Yeah. Tell us about the boat you race in, and how it's set up for you, and maybe what you've done to sort of make some changes in the setup of the boat over the years.
Yeah, well, my coach Kurt, he's always trying to try different things. When something is coming out, he's the first one who wants to try it. So that's really nice that he's looking for inventions in rowing. Yeah. And recently I tried new oars, sculls. I tried the new concept oars.
Yes.
The pump blade, which is quite cool to row. I like it, and I will test them at the Europeans. Yeah, you see me with the funny round blades there, maybe.
Yeah. Will you use those in the European Championships?
Yes.
What did you think of the sculls that Regatta used in Linz in 2019 with the blades?
One training partner, or one girl of my group, she tried it once, and she suddenly got a, what is it called when you have a
tenosynovitis?
Yes, diabetes. Yeah, she got it from that. So I never tried it. It's so dangerous that you are getting injured with that, and I can't imagine that they are fast when you have headwind conditions. I don't know if it's wavy. It must be really tricky to row with them. So.
Yeah. So, and tell us about the boat. Do you row in an Empacher?
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The boat is always the same. It's the X17. Yeah. So it's for 75 kilos, lightweight men's shell or heavy shell. Yeah. So it's the shorter one. There's also another shell for 16, I think it's called, for heavier women. Yeah, for me the 17 is perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of changes in the boat, so in the material we use, because rowing is really conservative.
Yeah. Did you see recently? You may not have seen it, I guess, but did you see the film of the Dutch 8 using electric motors on their boat?
I just saw a picture where there was a funny thing around the Postponement. Yeah. I was wondering what it was about, and I talked to my coach, and he said it must be something with for weights in the boat. But then I read that it's like it's making the boat faster.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know why this is for. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, their sponsors, Red Bull, made they paid money to make the development, and it allows them to train at race rate, so they can train at like 38 or 40 strokes a minute for maybe 20 minutes at a time because it's so easy. So they get more used to training at the rate they're going to race at. I think.
Okay. If I want to retire, I go in the double, which has yeah. That's why I'm training from time to time with my sister in the double because it helps me for higher races.
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah. It helps me a lot.
Your sister's not in the team, is she?
Yeah, no, she's not really in the team because she's working. She's not a professional athlete. She's just my training partner, and from time to time we race, and she's there to push me.
Yeah.
But maybe we do a bigger race in the future. We don't know yet. The speed is good.
Yeah. So tell us about. You mentioned some of the cross training you do. You've done a lot more on the bike. What other kind of cross training? What other different sports do you do?
I do in the winter time when we have enough snow. We go on cross country skis. So,
oh, really? Are you a good skier?
Yeah, not too bad.
I shouldn't ask it.
Yeah, in Austria you have to do alpine skiing, but I don't like that. You get injured so easily, so I like to cross country ski. It's a lovely sport and it's perfect for rowing.
Yeah.
And I also like to hike or to climb mountains in the winter.
I heard you say that. When you say climb mountains, do you mean that you're kind of hanging off on a rock face with ropes, or do you mean like walking up mountains? What kind do you...
It depends. In the summer times I also climb, like real sport climbing, but in the winter time it's more like walking up. Yeah. And
so you climb with ropes?
Also, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that not dangerous?
You are secure with the rope, so if everything goes as planned, then nothing should happen.
Yeah.
No, it's not dangerous. No.
Oh, that sounds exciting. So when you train, do you train with a pulse meter on? Do you train within ranges of pulse or not?
You mean in rowing or just
in rowing?
Yeah, normally I have a heart rate sensor on and it's giving me the data. Yeah. But you have it in the feeling, I think, most likely. Yeah. But yeah, I have the data for the coaches. They want to know it.
Yeah. And I guess, are you given a time that you must do your, a boat speed that you must train at, with your pace coats on the boat? Do you look at your speed for the various sessions and say, I must be within, 1 or 2 seconds of that speed?
Yeah, mostly yes. But when I train in Falkenmark, we have a little current, so sometimes it's giving you fabulous data, which is just not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, you have to think what it could be, maybe. But I just came back from Linz. We had a week, a camp in Linz, Offensheim.
Yeah.
So I came back on Saturday where we did some testing there. We had a long distance test on the water. We had a 2K test on the water. So I know about what my speed is at the moment for the cold conditions. The water is cold. It's not really fast, but in relation, it's okay.
Yeah. And so you mentioned doing a lot of work with the Austrian team altogether, but it seems the Austrian team is on an upward trajectory now. I don't know whether that's because I see a lot of pictures that Robert puts of the Austrian team on Instagram, and they all seem to be rowing really nicely. But you've also got Dave Thompson working with the team now.
Yes. We're really happy that we have this nice coach group at the moment.
Yeah. What difference has Dave Thompson made to the Austrian team?
Well, Dave is coaching the men's 4 and the men's quad at the moment. So he's bringing his experience into his boats. I'm not working with him. I have my own coaches, so I can't say what he's exactly doing, but they talk to each other. So Robert and Dave are doing the program together, I think. So yeah, it's a mix. It's a mix, but it's really working well, and I'm looking forward to the guys. They have a good speed.
Yeah, they did well in last year's European Championships. I think the Austrian four, the men's four.
That's really good result. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we hope we can qualify two, three boats for Tokyo. So I'm the first one. I'm the only one at the moment who's qualified for Tokyo. And today in a week, the European Continental Regatta is starting, and we hope to get one boat there too.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hopefully the last chance regatta in Lucerne. Yes.
There are going to be some interesting races at that last chance regatta.
Yes. I'm glad I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us what you do outside of rowing, Magdalena. Do you? Obviously, you're a full-time athlete, but you know, when you have your afternoons off, what kind of hobbies you have, what kind of interests you have?
Yeah, as you say, I'm a professional athlete. I'm in the military system, so I got my certificate from the state. Yeah, and when I have afternoons off, I do sponsor stuff. Yeah, which I have to do. Yeah.
Who's your sponsor?
I have some sponsors, so yeah, you have to feed them all with photos and shootings and that's sports stuff. I would say sometimes I wish I would have a secretary who's doing the stuff for me, but
you should have a personal assistant.
Yes, that would be nice. But you also need to pay them.
I read somewhere that you started to get you started a rowing scholarship in America once, and
yes.
you finished it after 3 weeks because the Austrians told you couldn't row for the team unless you were in Austria.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem.
I got a scholarship from Clemson, which was really nice from them. I loved their offer, you know. I just wanted to know how it is, and I went there and wanted to see it, and I saw it, and in the meanwhile, the Austrian rowing said, if you go there, you can't go on for Austria. And I wanted to race internationally. That's what I love. And I saw it at university and so on, and everything was perfect, but it wasn't my world, you know. I was used to go in a small club with few guys around, and everything was different there. And I just wanted to come back and race internationally. That was my biggest intention.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I did it, that I saw it, because otherwise I would have asked myself the whole how it could have been, you know.
Yeah. So
I came back and straight went to the military, and then everything started.
So what will you? So do you? How much thought have you given to what you'll do after Tokyo?
That's difficult. Yeah. I finished my master's degree last year during Corona, so I had a master of business administration, so I could start working if I would love to, but I don't know. I just let it happen at the moment. But of course, I'm thinking or planning a plan A, a plan B to have something after Olympics, because the post-Olympic depression is quite well known and it can hit your heart if you're not prepared. So I try to be prepared for the situation after Olympics.
Yeah.
No matter how it ends, if it ends with a good result or a bad result, you have to be prepared. That's the most important thing.
The competition is so tough in the women's singles because there are so many women at a similar level.
Yes.
And you have beaten a lot of your competitors as well in some of the races, so you know it's possible. Yeah.
I think in the women's single, everybody did beat everybody at any time. So it's a new mix. It's the chance is there at each race to be better this time, and yeah, it will be quite a surprise because I think the Canadians and the New Zealand team is not coming to the World Cup, so we just meet at the Olympics, and that will be a surprise.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I think China might be racing in World Cup 2 because they are coming over to Europe.
Okay.
But I don't think any of the other teams will be in World Cup 2. But I'm not sure you have a Chinese single sculler. Maybe someone will try and race at the last chance regatta.
China did qualify at World Champs in Linz, so then they will be sending one girl, I think. She was second in the China B. They have a spot, so I don't know if they send a boat, but I think they will. Yeah.
Do you think that single scullers are more mentally tough than rowers in a crew? Do you think that you need to be more mentally tough to race the single?
I don't know. Each boat is mentally tough, but yeah, in a single you're on your own. You have to push yourself alone, and you win alone, you lose alone. So you have to work the result alone. It has its advantage, but also its disadvantages, I think.
Yeah.
That single scullers are tough is maybe a hard thing because each sportswoman or sportsman is tough, mentally tough. If you do that sport, rowing is so hard. You have to be mentally tough to go there each day, in no matter which conditions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a hard business. This is just a hard business, yeah.
Yeah. Would you are you a driven personality, Magda?
I don't know. You gotta ask somebody else.
What do your friends say?
Yeah, I know what I want, and I can achieve my goals. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
I follow my plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you someone who likes the plan, who likes things set in stages?
Yeah, but if the monotony is getting too big, I gotta break it because then it's killing me. That's a big thing in sport. Yeah. The longer you're in the business, the more changes you need. So sometimes a little injuries bringing a little chili in the sauce. Sometimes it's not. Injury is never good, but sometimes it's giving you the extra rest which you need. So you have to be prepared and accept things as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I was wondering, in terms of, you don't get many days off in terms of your program, but when you have a holiday from rowing, I know we don't go on holidays now with COVID, but what do you generally do on your time off? How do you spend it? Is it easy for you to take time off of rowing, or is it difficult?
In the off season, I'm happy if I'm not seeing my boat for 2 weeks or so. But I just love to train. It's for me, it's fun to train. Yeah, I could never when I will quit rowing. But I will never stop doing sport. So I also love to do sport in my free time. I like to go on mountains. I like to hike. It's wonderful. I can't do without sport. So I would always do something in the nature. I love nature. I want to be outside. It's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And so. When you line up on the start line in Tokyo, what is your aim for this year in Tokyo? Have you discussed what your target is for the Tokyo Olympics? What you want?
Yeah, well, in Rio I was 6th, so I said I want to let her decide, but if I would say I would be happy with the 4th or 5th place, it wouldn't be true. So
yeah.
I want to be in a medal fight. I want to fight for a medal. So I want to bring me in this position where I can say, okay, I'm able to fight for it, and if I brought out my best race and it didn't work out, but I gave 100%, then I'm happy. I just want to be the lead I can be in Tokyo, and that's the plan. Yeah, I want to just get everything out of my body to be perfect there.
That's a great plan. Well, Magdalena, I think you have delighted the world of rowing with your races, the style when you go out quickly, or when you recover from catching a crab. It's amazing. You're one of the most entertaining athletes, I think, in the world of rowing.
Yeah.
And I hope you're going to be around as well for some time to come. It'd be nice to see you still in the run up to Paris, if that's possible.
I think it's possible, but let's see how the motivation is after Tokyo. You never know what your head is playing, So after Rio, I said I will. Before Rio, I said I will not go on, but then I went to Tokyo. So we see.
And maybe another.
At the moment, it's making a lot of fun to work with the team and the coaches. So the environment is perfect. It would be possible, definitely, to go on, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, I hope you can do really well and win a gold medal at the Europeans, if that's possible, with your good training and all the work you've been doing. It'd be fantastic to see you do well there.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking on Crossy's Corner, Magdalena. We'll end the live part of the interview now, just to say goodbye, and thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in and watching as well.
Bye.